Hello, everyone, and welcome back, friends. So let's recap last episode. So we intercepted the Oracle, which had a strange distress signal warning us to not board the star station. It was far from Dazra. A little bit of a analysis here on like the story. So, a commenter, Magica Addict, he runs some Elder Scrolls, an Elder Scrolls channel, and does a lot of very good commentary on modding in Elder Scrolls, etc. He commented on the video and basically called it a masterpiece for environmental storytelling, and that's exactly what the Oracle Quest is. You have like the zero-G environment. You can tell they were clearly pulling from a cult classic sci-fi Event Horizon, which had wonderful cinematography, and they were doing something very similar. You're like coming onto the star station, it's zero Gs, lots of debris floating around. There's really no NPCs to interact with. We do have some NPCs in there, but you can't interact with them. They're kind of doing their own scenes as like the phantom vortexes, and you have to find data slates from the past to kind of piece together what happened to the Oracle and what is going on. But that's after we did all those things, we did manage to restart the star station's power, and it immediately jumped back to the orbit of Dazra. We were immediately contacted by like Dazra security, I believe it was, and told to kind of land immediately. So here we are. We're going to start the second episode, and for this, we are going to do The Promised Broken, which is the first quest we get after leaving here, and then we're also going to do the quest The Duel. Both these quests are very dialogue heavy. Like, I am not going to shoot my gun the entire time this episode. They're very dialogue heavy. The Duel does have a lot of like drama and kind of role play elements to it, so I very much do look forward to that. I know some people would probably be critical of it because it's a lack of action, but guess what? Fandom is a lot larger than you, so just because you might think it's boring, a lot of people actually kind of enjoy like drama-based storytelling, and they don't really need action. And that's kind of one of the things I like about Bethesda games is they appeal to very broad audiences, and people play these games differently. I would just say have that kind of perspective that your personal tastes are not um, the personal tastes of like the entire fandom. But we are going to get going here and begin The Promised Broken. And we'll have a little bit of fun with this because there's some really good cutscenes. But let's get going.
Hold very still and choose your words carefully. They will determine how long you live. You have no right to be here. You will tell me how you found this place.
I found your wayward star station, the Oracle. This was an accident. I was just responding to a distress call. Where am I? Let's start with the question. Where am I?
You trespass in Dazra, the home of House Va'ruun, and you disgrace it with every heretical step you take. I say again, who are you, and how did you find this place?
I found your wayward star station, the Oracle.
But it was lost. All communication ceased. There was no sign of it.
Something clearly went wrong. I'm afraid there were no survivors. It's kind of sinister to say in this situation. I never seen a star station with a grav drive installed. Let's go with the last option.
It was deemed necessary at the time. We will reevaluate that decision in light of what has happened. Forrest, I think we need not fear our guest. Perhaps, in this time of need, The Great Serpent has delivered us a gift.
Counselor, with due respect, we have not had unannounced visitors here in generations. It is a clear breach of security.
I do not disagree, and I know that security, in whatever small form we can grasp it, is of paramount importance. But you must acknowledge the timing is curious. And perhaps our guest's intent should be determined before we take further action.
Let's just forget any of this happened, and I'll be on my way. I don't respond well to having a gun aimed at me. This was an accident. I didn't mean to get wound up here. Your station brought me here. It jumped my ship. Jumped while my ship was docked. We're gonna go with the Serpent's Embrace here. I am here to pledge my loyalty to House Va'ruun.
Are you now? Most curious indeed. I am afraid that, not having been born of House Va'ruun, that may prove a complicated matter.
Great Serpent!
What's happening again?
Hear me!
Speaker, we are here!
We have reached out to you to seek guidance in our hour of need. The gate in the Citadel has been opened just to seek you. Have I failed you? What is this place? Where am I? Why do you not show yourself? I strive only to follow your command. All must serve. Please, do not leave me in darkness. I seek only your wisdom, your guidance. Great Serpent, your children cry out to you. Will you not answer us?
Our leader, Anasko Va'ruun, he has appeared like this over and over. So many of our people have been trapped in this state, these vortex phantoms. But usually they are hostile and lash out. Anasko is different. If only we could hear his voice, some reassurance that all is not lost.
Okay, I just want to make note that I think Darkstar put that hard target in Anasko Va'ruun's hands, because normally he does not have a hard target. So that was kind of funny. So I'm guessing because he is a Vortex Phantom, Darkstar recognized him as an enemy NPC and immediately upscaled his weapon to a hard target. Beautiful. Okay, let's continue on and not dwell on that. He sounds plenty lost himself. What's going on here? Who was that?
Anasko Va'ruun is our leader, the grandson of Jinan Va'ruun himself. He sometimes appears to us, but we cannot interact.
He's the son of Jarek Va'ruun as well. Just making note of that. Jarek was his predecessor. He took over after Jian Va'ruun died during the height of the Serpent's Crusade. What's going on here?
I am not able to go into detail. There was an experiment, an accident. Many of our people left in a similar state. While most are hostile, Anasko is... The Great Serpent spared him that fate. He's different. If only we could communicate with him.
He sounds plenty lost himself.
You could hear him. Despite the sightings, none have heard the word from Anasko in all this time, yet you claim to. Do not toy with me. Not about this. If you speak truth, you must prove it. What did he say?
All must serve. Something about a gate in the Citadel and seeking the Great Serpent. He's trying to contact the Great Serpent, but something is wrong. He sounds lost. I wasn't really paying attention. We're gonna go with this option.
Aye, the serpent. The experiment was a secret, even to many of our own people. Truly, you did hear Anasko. You have been chosen. People of House Va'ruun, hear me. We have asked the Great Serpent for deliverance from our calamity, and he has answered us. This outsider has been chosen as the most unlikely vessel for the Great Serpent's divine provenance, and she will help save us all. Outsider, please. There is no denying you have been sent here as a sign. You must help us. But there are precepts that must be followed, principles that must be obeyed. Even in these dire circumstances, we cannot turn from Jinan Va'ruun's teachings. You will be granted safe passage through Dazra and the lands beyond. No harm will come to you. On that, you have my word. You even have my assurance that your compatriot here will also remain unharmed. But to truly aid us, you must become part of House Va'ruun. This is not a thing done lightly, and it cannot be taken back. Will you commit to helping us by becoming one of the promised?
All right, just tell me where I begin. I'm not agreeing to anything right now. I could never join House Va'ruun. What do you mean, the promised? Your people are always trying to kill me. Why would I help you? What exactly am I signing up for? What do you want from me? Let's go with the bottom question and we'll move our way up.
Well, efforts to do something, anything about our current dilemma have fallen to political infighting. I believe your arrival, if nothing else, represents a sign from the Great Serpent himself that we must finally put aside our differences and work together. It must be ordained that you would appear before us now, able to hear the speaker when no one else can.
Your people are always trying to kill me. Why would I help you?
You must mean the Zealots. I assure you, they do not represent House Va'ruun. We do not engage with the settled systems. They would attack us just as soon as you or anyone else. And they would certainly never extend an offer to join them, as I do now in this time of desperation. So, will you?
What do you mean promised?
We, the people of House Va'ruun, are the promised. The Great Serpent has blessed us with knowledge of the future and our place in it. Our service to him guarantees us a place in the new worlds he will create when he returns to enshroud the universe. A greater gift could not be bestowed upon you.
All right, just tell me where to begin.
Excellent. Please, come with me. Forgive me for not introducing myself. I am Malibor Dulkev, a member of the High Council of House Va'ruun. I have been asked to represent the Council in this moment. Please, enter our city. You have my word that you will not be harmed. I would ask that until you have become promised, you avoid the citizens of Dazra. They are not used to outsiders. Open the gate! I must temper what I reveal for now, but surely you saw the scaled citadel as you arrived. It was the center of an explosion of sorts that has annihilated most of our city. We have lost many of our brothers and sisters. I believe we are still in danger.
Counselor, what is the meaning of this?
Is there a problem, Makula?
The city is in shambles, the speaker is missing, and here you are leading some outsider through our sacred space? Why allow this husk to defile our city? Have we not lost enough?
Have faith. I believe this outsider was guided here by the great serpent himself. Soon, serpent willing, they will be one of us. But I can be sure and pass your concerns on to the rest of the High Council, if you wish. I apologize for the interruption. There is a ritual intended for converts to the Promised that has not been performed in generations. We are fortunate that there are those still alive who remember the old ways and have remained prepared for such a moment as this. Herald Dazra, I suspected we might find you here waiting.
I saw the ship landing. I knew immediately that I would be needed.
Indeed you are. This is Inaza Kaisir, Herald of the Serpent. She will guide you through the ritual. I am needed elsewhere, but I assure you that you are in good hands.
Okay, we're gonna take a, now that we've stopped kind of like the pathing of the NPCs,
Counted me as a friend.
we're gonna take a beeline back to the landing pad because there is a goodie pack incorporated with the Dark Star Shattered Space patch. So we're gonna look around for that. It's by the landing pad. I think it might be over here. No, it's not there.
An outsider here in Dazra. These really are strange.
Ah, Dark Star. Here it is. Enter the quantum half.
Ah, hello there.
Oh man, it's loading.
Are we resting up or here for supplies? Either way,
Kicked me
it's
out.
good to have a break from all the mindless violence.
Let's try it again. Okay, so kicked me out the first time, entered the second time, it let me in. Boop, 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 boop. So it looks like all the Dark Star stuff is right here. So if you are playing with Dark Star and you decide to do Shattered Space and you download the patch, guess what? You don't have to leave Dazra. And I think that's like kind of like one of the perfect ways to play Shattered Space is like once you land on Dazra, don't leave it until you're done. Imagine that. Let's read it. Imagine, if you will, you leave your society behind, travel the multiverse, grow immensely powerful, and then somehow, someway, stumble upon your homeworld and get butterflies in your stomach, like you were a little kid again, frightened of what mommy might think of what you've done. I've never thought I'd come back to Dazra. It never even dawned on me to try. Beyond a certain point, they sent me out into the galaxy as a spy, and then fate took over and sent me down a path they couldn't have even imagined. Then, beyond all reason, I find myself in your universe, and my people have all but destroyed their homeworld trying to reach the Great Serpent, as if they've all become zealots in my absence. Let's scroll this down a little bit so I'm not scrolling while reading. But enough reminiscing and wonder. I've combined Dark Star tech with what the Va'ruun have unlocked. Even though they have no understanding of the implications of what they've discovered, the results are interesting. You'll find new tech in your systems ready for your use, should you be worthy. Thankful I was able to get what I needed without the houses discovering my presence. They seem to want someone to save them, and If I'm being honest, I just don't have the patience for their drama right now. Hopefully, for their sake, you've taken up their cause. Regardless, I've left these devices here for your use. Worry not. They won't understand them and can't make use of them. Even if they somehow find them, the citizens of Dazra are far too occupied with their own impending destruction to question the manifestation of a new strange door on the edge of their landing pad, and unlikely to figure out how to open it. It is, after all, keyed to your quantum resonance. Come look for me in Paradiso if you find this. I'm heading there next. Though I can only summon this chamber into your reality once, so I'll be much more exposed at my second location. I cannot, however, depend upon you uncovering the existence of Dazra first. But I also cannot let the citizens of this world get their hands on Darkstar technology either. It's a conundrum. Interesting little storyline elements there left for us by Wicked Gaming. I believe his intention is, release the, what
it's
is
good
it?
to be somewhere when nobody is shooting at
The gameplay overhaul, and then on later on release some story-based stuff. And he's kind of like planted the seeds, alluding to what his intentions and plans are with like some of the story stuff. And I'm kind of excited for it. But let's get out of here. Let's continue on this quest. But it's nice to know that we
Hello
have
there.
all the services we need
Excuse me.
right there. So I don't really need to leave Dazra. But in reality, I do need to leave Dazra because there's some mod reviews I'm doing. So I will leave Dazra. But I would highly recommend, if you do have Darkstar, getting the Shattered Space patch. Grumble, grumble, grumble. All right, let's go talk to this lady.
I have other matters that require...
So, the Great Serpent sends you to me. There is something about you. No husk that walk the Serpent's path. To enter this sacred cave, there is no turning back. You will be forever changed. This is a path you must walk of your own free will, alone. Will you step forward and emerge anointed, one of the promised?
I am ready. I need a minute. What is the cave? Why am I doing this? Why do you call me a husk?
You have not been filled with purpose by the Great Serpent, so you are merely a husk. But perhaps not for long.
Why am I doing this?
Those born to House Va'ruun spend every day surrounded by our history. The rituals that separate us from the husks happen naturally over time. You have not experienced that. Those who have not answered the Serpent's call cannot coexist with House Va'ruun. And so, if you are to aid us in our time of need, you must become one of the promised.
What's in the cave?
A lesson. A test. A moment for the Great Serpent to reach out and fill you with something more than what you have been.
Serpent's Embrace. I've been waiting for this moment my entire life.
An unusual but welcome response. Then let us enter. And I shall guide you along the Serpent's path. But this is a journey you must undertake alone. Your escort cannot follow.
Hi, Ben. Hi, Derek. I'm very glad you followed me and did not listen to that lady.
Scanning. The path lies before you, but it is up to you to walk it.
Okay. Seems simple enough. So we need to go down there, deeper into the tunnels. Got these little, like, offshoots
Before
here.
House Va'ruun, there were humans. First on Earth, then scattered among the stars. And like all humans, they were lost souls, wandering in the dark, looking for a path. One particular colony ship housed several hundred of these souls. They were each alone and isolated. Individual tiny flames that could be snuffed out at a moment's notice.
A little bit of symbolism there with blowing out the candle. I enjoy it.
But Va'ruun encountered the great serpent and was given the gift of knowledge. He shared his knowledge with those around him and lit the way for them. They followed his guidance and his light, and they cast aside the burdens of their former lives. And thus, House Va'ruun was born. Now you too have the chance to cast aside your burdens, to relieve yourself of anything that holds you back.
We should sacrifice something. Let's see, do I have any junk weapons? I don't need both of them. Well, they're worth a lot of money, you know, and I'll freaking hold on to it. I don't need these.
The people's hopes and fears and dreams were entrusted to the Great Serpent. They made the leap of faith that brought House Va'ruun to greatness. You may now follow in their footsteps and take that same leap. Embrace the Great Serpent, and he will embrace you.
They have a path over here for people who can't jump. I wonder what's up here. I don't know. Let's check it out. Got another trail up here. Ooh, chest. It's got fiber in it. We have a dead skeleton. Probably one of the early settlers on Dazra. Alright, let's move on. That's something new I found. I didn't find that my last couple runs through here.
The people of House Va'ruun settled this world, at first in these very caves. Va'ruun himself slept among them in these shelters. It was here that he spread the word of the serpent. It was here that the people of House Va'ruun first understood the truth of their place in the universe.
Need something?
In a moment. Ben, not right now. Nothing in there. It's just locked. Let's see. I don't want to miss anything. Okay. Nothing really in that little house. Anything over here? No, not really. Shelves cleared. All right. And there.
And it was here that the people of House Va'ruun first understood the truth of the shrouding. The great serpent's return. He will encircle the universe he created, and all those who do not follow will be cast into shadow. And the people weighed this knowledge against their former lives, and saw how they had been blessed despite the difficult new life that awaited them. You too would do well to feel that solace amidst the pain.
Hi, Dan.
We're gonna go upstairs. I just want to make sure, you know, if there's anything to be found data slate wise, we will find it. No.
Keep moving forward. That's the spirit.
Yes, it is the spirit. One thing I will say is they definitely want you to use whatchamacallit, particle weapons during this expansion, because they will give you tons of ammunition for particle weapons. By the time I'm done with this, I'm probably going to have like 10,000 rounds with, or 10,000 of that, like the heavy particle rounds. Let's see if there's anything in the bathrooms. But this quest is it's kind of like the orientation hall in what is it? New Atlantis for the UC Vanguard quest, where they're trying to catch up to speed on like the history of House Va'ruun. Very introductory kind of like quest. Nothing, you know, it's catch up on stuff. Memorial plaque. In these humble quarters, in the first year of settlement, resident speaker Jian Va'ruun, chosen of the Great Serpent. So we got a little bit there. Any data slates or left behind items from Jian? Master lock. We'll open it. Okay, this one will fit. Yep. Do we have something that will fit right here? Yes, we do.
Easy.
Look like John took a portable CD player with him.
Peasy lemon squeezy.
And I'm lagging out. I'm lagging out. The cloud gaming's lagging. Curse you,
Something
cloud
on your
gaming.
mind.
Yes. The fuzziness from cloud gaming is on my mind right now. Okay, let's get out of the radioactive water before I die. Hope the cloud gaming picks back up. It was doing so well in the beginning.
Until that day comes, we are the voice and the hands of the Great Serpent. Our every act a sacrifice to hasten his return. Make now a sacrifice to prove your devotion. And remember, whether in life or in death, all must serve.
Hi, Dad. What do you need?
Let's use this.
I knew that this place was dangerous.
But you chose to face it head on. That was the wrong choice.
I've never seen it elite. I have to assume that Dark Star did that and turned it into an elite enemy.
Oh, how amusing.
Let us begin the final ritual. While none since Anasko Va'ruun have stood before the Great Serpent, we can all feel his presence. To solidify his bond, you are presented with a simple choice. Before you on this dais are several items. They represent different aspects of House Va'ruun's connection to the Great Serpent. Pick the two that call to you. Place them on the altars. Offerings to the Great Serpent that he may fill you with his spirit and make you promise.
Okay, we're gonna go with perseverance and devotion.
Ah, hello.
Note, the venom tree produces a hallucinogenic. It's probably what that gas was some kind of extract from the venom tree, which is native to Dazra. And you learn that on Star Station. It's the Star Station in Alpha Centauri.
And so you arise, one of the promised of House Va'ruun. Did you feel the Great Serpent working within you? Do you feel born anew?
I exist only to serve the Great Serpent. I just want to help. I'll do what I need to, even if I don't believe in it. I feel the same as I did before. This was a waste of time. There is more than one way to feel born anew, trust me.
Yes, your confidence is impressive. Devotion to the Great Serpent and perseverance to remain devoted, no matter the circumstances, will always reveal a path forward for any member of House Va'ruun. I grant you the title of Diviner. All will know you. All will trust you. Above us, in the grand ship morning, jewel of the Va'ruun fleet, the High Council awaits your arrival. Serve them. Serve the Great Serpent. All must serve.
All right, so that's a nice little section of this quest here where we kind of get set up with like the history and a lot of like the theology of House Va'ruun. Also, a little bit of commentary I would like to make about Anasko Va'ruun in this whole story. There was I don't know what I'd call it, a presentation that Emil Pagarillo did a while back. Often it's used by haters to kind of criticize him, but he said during that, write what you know, and he discussed the Dark Brotherhood's quest line in Oblivion. He basically made it the Catholic Church. Here, I think he's kind of doing the same thing. I basically, Anasko Va'ruun is essentially the space pope. And in fact, if you look at young photos of Pope Francis, they have a similar physique and look to them. So I think there's a little bit of inspiration going on there with Emil kind of pulling from his real life experiences, being a Boston-born Irish Catholic. But let's move on and do the next stories here. And we'll take it. What do we got here? There's something in there. Alright, we're just gonna move on, because it's probably just a prop and I can't get in there. We're gonna go to the morning ship cockpit.
Hello there.
Okay, before we talk to them, we got some reading to do. I guess we will start with this. Report, Ministry of Commerce. As per the Council's request, an assessment of the Ministry of Commerce operations. Ministry operations temporarily transferred to the Halls of Healing in light of loss of both Halls of Authority and House Dalkeith residents. Emergency supply stores have been activated. Military and security personnel enlisted in protection and distribution of critical supplies, primary medical and foodstuffs. Significant loss in both personnel and records have applied additional pressure to ministry operations. Hasmak Dalkeith, appointed Elder of House Dalkeith, thus far limited engagement with day-to-day ministry activities. So that's kind of explaining. Dalkeith
Hello, Diviner.
is, what is it? The house in charge of like commerce. So we're gonna get into that. I guess I'll kind of like do some commentary after we talk to this fellow. Report post-incident status. As per Council's request, an assessment of House Va'ruun operations in the aftermath of the Citadel incidents follows. All structures in the immediate vicinity of the scaled citadel are gone, including the halls of authority. All major ministry operations have relocated and are operating off of record backups and emergency supplies / funding. Administrative personnel losses are still being totaled. Most key figures were present in the Citadel at the time of the incident and are presumed missing or dead. Science team hit hardest. Notable exceptions of Ikris Kaysir on leave. Military and security forces heavily affected. Minimal personnel presence is being maintained within Dazra, with personnel being reassigned from outlying areas. Rumors of mass desertions are being actively countered. Supply chain disruptions have drained already low reserves. Ministry of Commerce is attempting to compensate by establishing new connections, but time delay will exacerbate already low stockpiles. So we can kind of see like how dire the situation is. A lot of the leadership was swept up in the incident. A lot of like the military on the outskirts of the city have been reassigned, and they're losing a lot of their supply chains and having desertion problems. I know a lot of people criticized the fact that there was like pirate bases, or pirates held up like right near Dazra, but like it's kind of fully explained that they are basically withdrawing back into the city following the incident and in these slates. So like if people take time to actually read the slates, the story is coherent and makes sense.
You would speak with me?
Funding notice from the Office of the Speaker. Harold Inaza has brought to my attention a disturbing matter. There has been discussion of eliminating the funding to maintain and preserve the Serpent's Path in the latest proposed budget. I find this surprising, given the paltry amount requested and the significance of the location. It should be enough that the cave is a key piece of our shared heritage. Were it not for those caves, none of us would be here today. But if all goes to plan, in the coming months, we may be able to thank the Great Serpent himself for a new wave of recruits to our cause. The Serpent's Path may yet again be needed for its original purpose. I am confident that the Council will make the right decision, and if the funding cannot be secured, I would be more than happy to personally take a closer look at the budget to see what areas might be trimmed in order to free up funds. Anasko. Hold on, we got more.
Something I can do for you?
Report Ministry of State. As per the Council's request, an assessment of Ministry of State operations. Ministry operations temporarily transferred to Keep in light of the loss of both halls of authority and House Vethal's residence. Military/security personnel recalled from many non-critical operations outside the city in order to bolster coverage for Dazra. Ongoing threat assessment of phantom phenomenon. Tactics being adjusted to compensate. Additional security measures enacted in key locations as necessary. Significant operations underway to reassure public that the incident was isolated and they will be safe. Increase noted in public displays of opposition and defiance. Agitators have been detained and or removed as necessary. As we can see, more iteration of them essentially returning military presence back
My
to
friend.
the, what is it? The city of Dazra. So we do have good explanations
Yes.
of like why basically outside the city is unpatrolled and people could just, you know, occupy random buildings that are just outside the city. There's no one watching it because they don't have the personnel to watch it. But
Do they have inns here?
let's get into conversation here. Derek, you mind moving?
How may I assist?
Because you're gonna.
Hi, Dan.
Hi, Derek.
Yes? Did you require something?
You want to come over this way? Come over this way, Derek. Because you're like standing right in front of the NPCs, and it's going to like obstruct my shot.
Welcome, Diviner. You stand before what remains of the High Council, advisors to Anasko Va'ruun. We are all that is left after the disaster that has befallen our people. I represent House Dulkef. Jamal is from House Kadik, and we are joined by Lovek of House Vital. We are, all of us, hopeful that your arrival in Dazra and your clear connection to Anasko Va'ruun, for the first time in weeks, represent some semblance of hope.
I don't have a connection to Anasko Va'ruun or anyone here. Someone needs to start explaining what's going on. What's with all the houses? Aren't you all House Va'ruun?
Collectively, we unite under the banner of House Va'ruun, pledged to follow Jinan Va'ruun and his descendants. But our society is not a monolith. Jinan, in his wisdom, shepherded the first of us into families that we might grow and prosper. Our 3 families have for generations now helped to govern the people of House Va'ruun, and offer counsel to our leader.
I don't have a connection to Anasko Va'ruun or anyone here.
But you do. We have only seen brief glimpses of him since the incident. But you heard him speak. How can that be taken as anything other than providence? Please, just allow us a moment to explain.
By all means, Malabor. I can't wait to see how you spin this.
Please, can we just for a moment?
Can we just for a moment what? Discuss whether or not to allow the first convert to House Va'ruun since before any of us were born? A bit late on that, it seems.
You were not there. You did not see Anasko. It felt different. We have already wasted so much time.
You're correct. I was not there. Because you elected to travel to the spaceport on your own. And then decided this on your own.
Do not waste time with more bickering. Anasko, and by extension House Va'ruun, suffers with every passing moment.
Of course, Lovek. My apologies. Please, Malabor. Do go on.
Anasko Va'ruun, like his father before him, has relied on the teachings of Jinan to guide us. Anasko wondered if perhaps it was time to seek guidance directly from the Great Serpent, and so sought a means of reaching out.
Perhaps he found the teachings inadequate.
Careful, Kadik. You tread on dangerous ground.
I mean nothing by it. We simply were never consulted on the matter and do not know the full motive.
The point is that a series of experiments have taken place over the years, utilizing grav drive technology to hopefully make direct contact with the Great Serpent, similar to Jinan Va'ruun's initial meeting.
And then something went wrong.
We do not know what happened. We were not inside the Scaled Citadel at the time.
Had we been, we wouldn't be standing here now. We'd be like the rest of them.
A great tide of energy emanated from the Scaled Citadel and swept across Dazra. Much was destroyed in its wake. Those caught in the blast have been left in a state of confusion, trapped halfway between our universe and the vortex. The Citadel itself remains in such a state, Right there and yet beyond our reach. We can only assume that the experiment is still running, somehow preventing us from entering the Citadel. We cannot get in, so we cannot stop it. We're beginning to lose hope before you arrived.
The vortex, what is that? How long ago did this happen?
It has only been a few weeks. There had been efforts to put together some kind of response, some plan. But they had fallen apart.
The vortex, what is that?
Forgive me, I am no scientist. But as it has been explained to me, what we call the vortex is the space between universes.
Tell me how I fit into this.
Your arrival and your interaction with Anasko shows that he can still be saved. The plan had been devised to access the Citadel, but the work stalled. Clearly, it is time to move forward with it. The current head of our science team, Ekris, should be in Jinan Plaza down below us, towards the Citadel. Tell him about your experience with Anasko, and that work on the morning device must proceed.
All right. So this is our, we're almost done with this quest, actually.
Yes.
But a little bit of introduction to the kind of, what is it? The situation within Dazra.
Good to see you.
And right now we're aboard the Morning. This was the capital ship of, whatchamacallit? Of the Va'ruun during the Serpent's Crusade. It also was the original ship, but I believe it was called the Archimedes when it left from, what was it, New Atlantis, and eventually ended up in Dazra. Got recommissioned as the Morning. Now it's basically a museum and a temporary, kind of council chamber for what remains of the Va'ruun leadership. And we kind of got a lot of story details out of here about how dire situations are within Dazra. Let's go to Dazra City.
Do you know the scientists out at Hamadi Station?
The old married couple? Azad and Shireen, if I remember right. I've met them a few times. They seemed a little eccentric, but were otherwise quite nice.
That's them, yes. They're apparently looking for some help with their research. They made some kind of discovery that has them troubled.
Good luck finding help at a time like this.
Indeed. Yet the Serpent provides for the faithful, so who knows?
Nothing is truly impossible.
All right, that is the scientific method. That is going to be next episode.
I have not seen my sister.
And that kind of also alludes to what I would say is a major theme of Shattered Space, which is going to be the question of, is there a conflict between faith and reason? And Shattered Space kind of takes that question and turns it on its head a little bit. And we'll talk about that a whole ton as we play through this.
Do you truly have no shame, Amin? No shame at all. What you have done goes beyond disgraceful. It is morbid, disgusting. You should be hanging your head in shame, but instead here you are, acting like a common fool.
Borhal, calm down. Do not do this here.
How shameful of you to have these outbursts. Oh my, what would poor mother and father think?
You will speak not of mother and father, you sloughing bastard. No shame. No shame at all. What a waste of good life that they worked tirelessly to give you.
Mother and father spat on the ground I walked on. You were their pride and joy. Oh, good, generous Borhal. Always the paragon, the keeper of our family name.
I am disgusted to call you brother. It would be best for all of us if by some miracle you were to drown in one of those bottles of Koza you are so infatuated with.
Ugh, with a brother like you, is it any wonder I am driven to drink?
Are you?
What? What do you want?
What's going on here?
This does not concern you.
Please accept my apologies. I caught my brother attempting to do something unspeakable, and I could not contain my anger.
Oh yes, go on. Invite a total stranger into our family squabbles.
This is no squabble, you pompous fool. What you have done today is abhorrent. I can forgive stealing my money or pawning my valuables. What I cannot abide, however, is you attempting to sell Mother's urn with her remains still within.
Times are tough, I guess. That's awful.
I was drunk. I did not know. All of those vases appeared the same.
It is an urn, not a vase, you ignoramus. And you were the one who chose it when Mother passed away. I am tired of your shamelessness, and I am done bearing what should be your indignity. Do you hear me? I am done. You have gone too far this time, Amila, and I cannot bear the humiliation of being your brother any longer. I challenge you to a duel. Danica shall be my second.
What? Are you mad?
Borhal, are you sure? There is already so much death in the city. What good would this do? There has to be another way.
Too late, Danica. He has issued his challenge. I accept. In fact, look forward to it. You shall be my second.
What? Why me?
No, why not you? You seem capable and trustworthy.
The true answer is because Amila has no one, family or otherwise, willing to be his second. He has burned every bridge there is to burn. He will have to resort to picking someone off the street regardless, so it may as well be you.
I do not want to wait any longer than necessary. If you agree to this, you will allow us to come to an immediate resolution. I will pay you handsomely for that.
Is there some other way we can resolve this?
No. I believe we have just passed the point of no return.
I would not have proposed the duel unless I were fully committed to it. I am well past the point of compromising.
I don't even know what a second is. What is that?
Our job is to make preparations and ensure fairness on both sides. We shall have different duties between the two of us, but our aim is to prepare the site of the duel, weapons, ceremonies, and discourage any ambushes.
What's in it for me?
Well, ponder it for a moment. If I win, I shall inherit Borhal's wealth and valuables. I can reward you massively for your efforts.
Amila's word does not count for much, but mine does. I understand if you are cautious to accept this responsibility, but I will see to it that you are rewarded justly no matter the outcome.
Okay, I'll need someone to show me the ropes, though.
Then it is settled. Outsider, you will work alongside Danica to prepare for the duel. As for you, Amila, enjoy these last few moments, for when we next meet, your shameful life ends.
Do not sound so confident, brother.
Amila
family
has
home
shamed
is this
us
way.
for the final
It is
time.
not far. We can discuss the matters there.
Okay.
You will be working with me. As seconds, it is our duty to prepare for the duel and ensure fairness. I am sorry that you have found yourself in this situation. But know that you are doing Amila a great favor. He truly has no one else who would be willing to do this for him. He has burned every bridge imaginable. It seems that after years of suffering Amila's embarrassment, Borhall has reached the boiling point. But still, to challenge your brother to a duel.
Give me the
I
strength.
pray that we will be able to work towards a peaceful resolution before it's too late.
All right, I'm going to
got you a
turn
favorite from the meat, huh?
in the quest.
I had been the one.
Yeah, we got to talk to this friend here.
We will all be lucky to see the end of the year. Well, look who it is. You have made quite a stir, and given the state of things, that is a singular accomplishment. To what do I owe the honor, diviner?
What's going on here?
At the moment, obviously a great deal of nothing. Have the High Council to thank for that. Politics and expedience rarely pair well.
Malabor says work on the morning device must proceed.
Did he now? How magnanimous. But approval is approval, and I will gladly take it. I will spare you much of the technical detail, as I confess that pieces of it I barely understand myself. One cannot help but notice the energy field around the scaled citadel. Until we can get through it, we cannot shut down the experiment inside, and it has proved quite impossible to get through. We had the beginnings of a plan to build a makeshift contraption to redirect grav drive energy to see if we could penetrate the barrier, but the project came to a halt. Politics got in the way. Every one of the houses needs to contribute, and every one realized they could potentially use it for leverage. What should have been a cooperative effort turned contentious. Easy decisions became negotiations. And so, construction never began. We have sat here, staring at this disaster as supplies pile up for well over a week now. Serpent help us, it is infuriating.
No use complaining about the past. Time to move forward. I've been there. I've been here 10 minutes, and the council is already annoying. You should be grateful that I'm here, and that you can continue your work. Why do you need the council's approval?
The council just so happens to represent the 3 houses under Va'ruun's banner, who are also entrusted with various aspects of running, well, everything. Each of those houses needs to contribute something to the project, so the council is the final stopgap. Were the speaker here, he could bypass all of it with a wave of his hand, but, well, you have already seen the state he's in.
No use complaining about the past. Time to move forward.
Indeed. All must serve. I believe I've done enough complaining for now. Time to get to work. If you're here, the council has likely sent word to the houses that it's time to stop the infighting. I doubt it will be enough. I need to oversee construction here, make sure things are built to specifications. If you could follow up with the houses, that may speed up the process.
I doubt they'll listen to me. I'll get right on it. I shouldn't have to do that.
I appreciate that someone around here is eager to get to work. House Fetal owes us access codes for the city power grid. It's the only way to guarantee enough power to activate the device. House Kadik was supposed to provide a young scientist named Sahima to help me. She had at least some experience with the original Citadel experiment. No idea why they refused to send her. And Hasmek, the new elder of House Dulkef, he has been distant, guarded. He claims to have vital information about an important component of the experiment, but has withheld it until now. Help me get what we need, and we will see what we can do for the Speaker, and for House Va'ruun. And I may have something that can help you in whatever trials the Serpent puts before you as we navigate this. We have been nearly overwhelmed with all that has happened over the last few weeks, but I have still spent some time doing my own research when I can. These phantoms, the vortex. Fascinating subject, really. If only there were some less disastrous way we could have discovered all this.
Fascinating isn't the word I'd use to describe it. If it's not something that will help me get rid of the phantoms, I don't care about it. Let's go with fascinating.
I know. I have lost friends and colleagues myself. We have encountered several interesting phenomena. First, while the phantoms shift to a fully human form when killed, they often retain small shards that appear to be an almost crystallized version of vortex energy. Second, we have learned that killing the phantoms sometimes causes an even greater disturbance. Horrors, as they have been colloquially termed, can appear from somewhere. We are unsure of their origin, but it is not within our universe. These horrors and their spawn are infested with cysts, a seemingly organic manifestation of vortex energy. We have managed to collect enough to run experiments and have devised a method of combining them into an explosive mixture with varying properties. While they have no use in the development of the morning device, if you find yourself out in the field, I believe they could have more practical applications.
Unproven technology against enemies from outside our universe? Sounds like a great plan.
I do hope you are not questioning the thoroughness of my research. I assure you, they will work. The process is simple enough that any industrial workstation should suffice, if you have the materials. And, depending on how you combine said materials, you may find the results to be somewhat variable. I hope you can use that to your advantage.
How have things been affected by the disaster?
Just look around. I'm sure you have at least some idea of how much we have physically lost. A huge portion of the city is just gone. And those left behind are struggling. Supplies are limited. There is so much work to be done, and we are all just so tired. I hope that eventually we can return things to the way they were, but we must be realistic. That will take time, and I suspect a great deal of it.
What do you know about the experiment in the Citadel?
Not enough to have prevented it from happening. If I had any idea it was going to turn out like this, It had been Anasko's primary goal for some time. A way to recreate Jinan Va'ruun's encounter with the Great Serpent. Everything we knew about grav drive technology, every scientific advancement we'd made in the last 100 years was poured into it. Towards the end, I was just so exhausted. I asked for a brief time off. Had I not, I would be trapped in there with the rest of the science team.
Serpent's embrace. It is the will of the Serpent that you be here now to protect the promised.
I don't know about that. Seems that it would have been easier to just not have it happen in the first place, wouldn't you think? I left the project weeks before the disaster, and at that point, we were nowhere near ready. Some breakthroughs were made shortly thereafter, and they ran the experiment. And here we are. Yes, depending on how much trouble you're getting into. We have been nearly overwhelmed with all that has happened over the last few weeks, but I have still spent some time doing my own research when I can. These phantoms, the vortex. Fascinating subject, really. If only there were some less disastrous way we could have discovered all this.
Okay, this is the same dialogue. So we have the next quest in our series to help the three great houses, House Hilalu, House Telvanni, and House Redoran. We're going to put that on hold while we do side quests, and then we will come back to that and help the three great houses. Right now, we're going to do the duel.
How could everything be alright? Solutions nearly always come from
So there was our little intro quest, The Promised Broken, which basically kind of sets the stage for what's going on here. We have this big natural disaster, as we can see, using my Starborn boost pack. Very large section of the city has been wiped out. We have this giant thing here. Majority of the military has been pulled back to the city. They've been dealing with unrest in the city due to shortages of supplies. Majority of the leadership was in the Citadel at the time. Same with the science teams, etc. So it has been spelled out to us how dire things are. But let's go follow our girl and do the duel and
Dan, I think that you may need to read the jetpack menu again.
Maybe I do, Derek, but
I'm sure it says something about how to land safely. I don't recall it mentioning throwing yourself at the ground from height.
I do like Derek. Derek is only 300 creation points within the store. Same with Benjamin Dune there. And they are custom followers, so you get them in addition to whatever follower you pick, and they have very colorful dialogue.
This is it. Shall we begin our duties?
Yes, absolutely.
Are you ready to discuss our roles?
Hold on. What does the second do again?
It is our duty to prepare for the duel by procuring weapons and preparing for any ceremonies, as well as ensuring a fair fight. Importantly, we are not expected to engage in any combat, unless, of course, we are staving off an ambush. In short, we are to guarantee that the duel proceeds without issue.
They aren't serious, right? There isn't actually going to be a duel.
Oh, they are deadly serious. Borhall would have not dared to challenge Amila if not. The Odlum family has held duels in the past. It is something of a family tradition.
Wait, the Odlum family has held duels before?
Yes. There was a duel between their two great-grandfathers, I believe. From what Borhall has told me, it began as a property dispute. Their uncle died in a duel after being challenged by their grandfather. He was accused of stealing family heirlooms. History, it seems, repeats itself.
This family has an unfortunate and violent history.
Yes, and it seems that the cycle will continue. Unless you are able to get the brothers to agree to a peaceful resolution.
I've never successfully done that. We're going to be trying to do that here. No save scumming, but I'm going to try my best.
Very good. Let us begin. Your primary duty as Amila's second is to work with the brothers and see if a peaceful conclusion is possible. Namely, if Amila apologizes to Borhall and he accepts, the duel may not move forward. As for me, I will be procuring the weapons for the duel and the materials for the preceding ceremony. Borhall, as challenger, reserves the right to choose the weapons, and he has chosen blades. Do you have any concerns?
No concerns here. From what I've heard, Amila is a drunkard. Amila doesn't stand a chance against Borehole in a duel with blades.
I will note your concern, but know that Borehole has the final say. If that is all, we will break here and see to our duties. Before that, though, I know that this duel is foolish. I am sorry you got pulled into this. I will try and find another peaceful solution to this problem, should you be unsuccessful in convincing them to call it off.
Are duels commonplace in Va'ruun culture?
Duels were quite common 100 years ago, but have become more rare with each passing generation. At this point, the Odlum family is the only one that still takes part in this custom.
Wait, Borehall has the right to choose the weapon? Does Amila have the right to anything?
Amila has the right to deliver a genuine apology to Borehall and stop this duel before it commences. The odds of him doing so, however, are low. The Odlum brothers, like their ancestors, are stubborn and prideful.
Sorry, what am I supposed to do again?
Speak to the brothers and inquire if there is any opportunity for a peaceful resolution. Usually, this would require Amila to apologize to Borehall. As unlikely as that would be, though, Borehall can always decline the apology, and the duel will commence. Your odds of success are infinitesimal, but tradition decrees that you make the attempt regardless.
It's very difficult. You have to be successful with persuasion checks on both of them. Let's get going.
Report back to me when you have spoken with the brothers. We will discuss your secondary duty then.
Before I speak to the brothers,
My
let
friend.
me see if I have... Where's my ship at? I want to see if I have anything in my ship's cargo that is like a plus to persuasion that I can put on. Far away, I'm close enough. Cargo hold. No. Anything in my inventory? 2 recovery. Okay, I do not have anything that is going to aid me. So let's... I do have some chemicals, but I was hoping to get an extra edge because, like I said, I've never successfully convinced both of them. But we are going to give it a good college try here.
I fear I may be...
I believe I actually have some of the good drugs for this. Yeah, I actually got a lot. Plus 25%, and I do have the persuasion skill maxed out.
Ah, look who it is. I will not waste your time. I already know what you have come to ask. You wish to inquire if there is any possibility of me apologizing to my brother. The answer is no. The duel shall go forward as planned.
You seem eager to die.
Why are you so sure that I will die? I have been in plenty of scraps on the streets, and I am not some sheltered pushover like my brother.
All you have to do is apologize. Why is that so difficult? Nothing good will come from this duel. What are you trying to prove?
You cannot just turn your back on family like Borhall has done to me. And now he wants to kill me. If he wins, I hope the guilt of what he has done will rot him from the inside out. And if I win, it is justice.
All you have to do is apologize. Why is that so difficult?
He is trying to kill me. Why should I be the one to apologize? Borhall likes to paint me as a ne'er-do-well. But what type of psychopath wants to kill their own brother? It is not fair. He should be the one begging for my forgiveness.
I mean, you did try to sell your mother's remains. I want to ask you some more personal questions.
Fine. But do try to be brief. I would prefer to be alone so that I may enjoy what could very well be my final moments alive.
What led to this divide between you and your brother?
I do not know. Perhaps him challenging me to a duel has something to do with it.
Why do you refuse to apologize?
Do I have something to apologize for?
As your second, you need to open up to me. You aren't giving me real answers.
Correct. You are my second, not my acquaintance. I do not wish to speak of these things with you.
I can tell this smugness is all an act. There's more to you than you're letting on.
Is there? Perhaps you can convince me.
I hope I can.
Oh, if it will get you to leave me alone, perhaps it is worth it. You seem to be taking this all very seriously. Enough, enough. You've broken me down. Go on, ask your questions again.
Do you really think you can kill Borhall?
As in, am I physically capable? Perhaps, if the Great Serpent wills it. Am I mentally capable? I believe so. I have never felt this fury within me before.
Aren't you scared of dying?
Look at me. Really look at me. Do I appear to be someone that has much to live for? If I die, I die. Nothing to be scared of. Except giving Borhall the satisfaction of taking my life.
Be honest. Do you want to die?
Maybe it would be better to be dead. There is not much to live for, is there? Especially nowadays. I am not sure that I want to die, but I am growing tired of living. Sometimes it feels like my life has run its course. But I am not just going to let Borhall end me. I cannot give him that satisfaction.
Let me click on this again. What led to this
I
divide?
had a wife once. I'm not going to flatter myself and pretend that I was a good husband, but I loved her. And she loved me. Appreciated me. Faults and all. I never felt like I had to prove anything to her. When I say to you that she was my world, my everything, I am serious. She was perfect. And somehow, she loved something like me. It was like living in a dream every day. Nearly a decade ago, she and I shared a perfect night. In what I had believed would be a lifetime of perfect nights. But when I kissed her cheek in the morning, my lips froze. She was cold. Stone cold. After my beloved's death, I made one bad decision after another. To Borhall's credit, he was almost always there for me. He even paid for the funeral expenses. But he could not stop me from taking to the bottle, no matter how hard he tried. Eventually, he gave up on me. My own brother. His love and understanding has been replaced with scolding. I am truly alone.
You had a hard life. You can't expect Borhall to just blindly put up with everything you do, driven by grief, Koza, or otherwise.
If it were Borhall in my stead, I would forgive him, like a brother is supposed to do. Family is family. We are supposed to be there for each other, no matter what. I would never have deigned to challenge him to a duel. He cares more about respect, the family name, honor, everything, except for me.
I'm very sorry about your wife.
Thank you. But no amount of condolences will bring her back.
Why do you refuse to apologize?
Because I am furious! My own brother, I cannot make sense of it. Who would challenge their own flesh and blood to a duel? Damn him! Damn him for putting me in this position! Damn him because I know even if I were to apologize, ending this duel before it starts, I will always see someone who would rather me dead when I look at his face!
Be honest, do you want to die?
I suppose the thought has crossed my mind. Maybe it would be better to be dead. I could be with my wife. Well, if the Great Serpent would let me be with her. We're never the most devout in Dazra. I am not sure that I want to die, but there really is not much to live for, is there? But I am not just going to let Borhall end me. I cannot give him that satisfaction.
Do you really think you can kill Borhall?
As in, am I physically capable? Perhaps.
Okay, that's the same dialogue.
Am I mentally capable? Look at me. Really look at me. Do I appear to be someone that has much to live for? If I die, I die. Nothing to be scared of. Except giving...
Okay, that's also the same dialogue. Okay, I think we got it all. Alright, it seems you've made up your mind. It's your funeral.
I have made my choice. If I am to die, so be it, but I am no coward.
Okay, we need to talk to the other
Our
one.
sins must have been considerable.
Keep moving forward. That's the ticket.
I see one.
Okay, hold on one moment before you start talking to me. I need to take more drugs, just so I can be successful on these checks.
Anasko spoke to you. You seem a charitable soul.
Yeah. Regarding inheritance. Borhall, please accept my condolences on the death of your mother. She was a great woman, a model citizen, and a generous benefactor. As you well know, benevolent in death, she has left a parting gift for you, her firstborn. I do worry how your mother's death will affect Amila. It is unfair, but it falls to you to look after him now, discipline him, and keep him out of any trouble. Your mother and father were hard on him out of necessity. They did what they did out of love, in hopes to turn him into a worthy heir to the family's fortune. Sadly, it seems they did not succeed. So unfortunately, Amila cannot be trusted with your parents' wealth, and your mother has left all of her belongings and capital to you, Borhal. I understand that this might be a shock, and that Amila will inevitably resent this decision, but it was a wise one. Do not let Amila manipulate you into I can't even talk, relinquishing any of this. Your mother and father were adamant that this is your money and yours alone. Great Serpent be with you in this time of mourning. Zarina Mir, Executor.
What is it? I need to prepare.
You should call off the duel. You'll end up regretting this if you don't. I'm just here because Danica told me I needed to be. I think the duel should move forward. Let's go with the first option.
I will do no such thing, and will feel no regrets in avenging Amila's constant dishonors. I have given him every chance, every credit. I have begged him to turn himself around. But instead, it has been endless years of dishonor and pain. Damn him. I should have known years ago that this would be the only way things would end.
What would it take for you to call off the duel?
There is nothing that could lead me to calling it off. An apology from Amila is worthless. He always falls right back into his old ways. There is no apology grand enough to make up for nearly trading your late mother's remains to fund an addiction. That is inconceivable.
Isn't it against the rules for you to not accept an apology from Amila?
It would be, if Amila weren't a habitual liar, deceiver, and cheater. As I said before, an apology from him is less than worthless. He has apologized countless times for a decade, only to continue stabbing me in the back.
If you knew it would end like this, why didn't you intervene?
Do you think I wanted this to happen? I tried to stop this downward spiral countless times. It was like saving someone from drowning, only for them to leap back into the ocean. Amila refuses to be helped, and he is determined to take me and the family name down with him.
Do you think Amila has a chance of beating you?
Not at all. I have served my time in the military. Amila's condition made him unfit for service. He may put up a good fight, but I will surely be the victor.
I want to ask you some more personal questions.
No, you are not my second. I do not see how this is pertinent to your duties.
Persuade. Maybe your answers to my question will help me with my job.
Again, I do not see how this is pertinent. You are just wasting our time.
This will help me be a better second for Amila.
If that is the case...
We'll go with a 2 option here. It's just weird. I'm expected to be a second, but I still barely know either of you.
True. I am sure this experience has been confusing for you.
You're just making my job more difficult.
If you are sure this will aid you. You have made some valid points. I will answer your questions.
Would you be happy if Amila died?
No, Great Serpent, no. I will take no pleasure in his death. However, I may admittedly feel relief. I will mourn the loss of my brother. The brother he used to be, at least. And I will pray that his restless soul finds comfort with the Great Serpent.
What all have you done to support Amila through his hardships?
I have done everything, and he has left me with nothing. He comes begging for money, so I gave it to him. Then he comes begging for my items to pawn, so I sacrifice them. And then he comes screaming to me that I hate him, that I have done nothing to help him. All of this for a decade now. I would lay by his side every night praying that he would not choke on his own vomit. But in the mornings when I would throw away his bottles of koza, he would fight me like a monster. I used to take such pride in giving to the community, and in using my privileged position to help the less fortunate in the city. But I can no longer do that, as Amila has taken nearly every cent from me. I have sacrificed my entire purpose for living in the hopes that Amila would get better. And he never does.
Amila feels that you gave up on him after the loss of his wife.
Grot shit! I was by his side for years afterwards, supporting him. I was saddened by her passing. And I cannot imagine what Amila went through during that time. But how many years am I expected to take care of him? To smack the bottles from his hand, to pay the bail when he was caught stealing. I have done more for him in 10 years than he has ever done for me in our lifetimes.
In your mind, what caused the rift between you two?
The koza ruined him. Once he began living at the bottom of a bottle, everything changed. I am just exhausted by him. It is exhausting to constantly be blamed by him for all of his problems, while always being expected to forgive and help him when he demands.
What was your relationship with Amila like before his addiction?
We were never the closest of brothers, as our personalities are just so different. But we were close enough. He was a free spirit, which irked my parents. Honestly, I respected him a lot. He was unbreakable, even though the world was not always kind to him. He was funny, kind, and he always was trying to cheer me up, even if I had nothing to be sad about. The Amila you know now is not my brother. My brother may as well have died years ago. The Amila walking around today is nothing like what he used to be.
You mentioned koza. What is that?
An alcohol made from goat milk. Amila is absolutely dependent on it, and his wife was too. The damn stuff rots your brain, I swear. He has always been a troublemaker, but once the koza took over, he went from bad to worse. Now he is just an addict and a thief. I will be putting him out of his misery.
Do you hate your brother?
I do not hate him. I do not love him either. And I can no longer tolerate him. I am sure Amila will spin a tale about his hard life. But the truth is that he has always been a miscreant and a troublemaker. But when Father moved to strike him, who dove in front of the blows? When Mother would not feed him, who sacrificed their food? It was me. It was always me. How does he repay me? He steals my valuables, slanders my name, and brings dishonor on the family. Any affection I had for my brother is long dead.
One way or another, you won't have to worry about him soon.
Right. I take no pleasure in this. But after today, what he did, he needs to be dealt with. If that is all, you may take your leave.
Alright, I'm not even sure if we can convince them to avoid the duel. We were successful on all our speech checks there. Let's talk to Amila one more time and see if any new dialogue options opened up after speaking to his brother. I want to try and get a peaceful resolution out of this without doing the other method that I've already done before.
Conduct yourself properly.
Hi, Amila.
What?
All you have to do is apologize. Why is
He
that so
is
difficult?
trying to kill me. Why should I be the one to apologize? Borhal likes to paint me. It is not fair. Make it quick, please.
Okay. It skipped out the dialogue there, so I don't think we're able to convince either one of them to not proceed with the duel. It's awfully dark in here.
Need me for something? How did you fare?
Neither agreed to call off the duel.
While disappointing, I am not surprised. Those brothers are stubborn as groats. But you may still have a chance to halt any bloodshed. Listen to me very carefully. Your final duty as a second is to prepare the ceremonial drinks that the duelists will imbibe prior to the duel. As you are preparing the drinks, you will treat each cup with this tranquilizer. Borhal and Amila will be too weak to fight after drinking this. This duel is idiotic, we both know it. It is a needless loss of life during a crisis where there is already so much death. And the victor will rue his actions for the remainder of his life. You have one final chance to stop this.
Why do I have to do this?
Tradition decrees that the second of the challenged prepares the ceremonial drinks. I, as the challenger's second, will lead the duelist in a final prayer. We must follow tradition closely so as to not arouse suspicion. If Borhal is wary of us, he will remove us as second and simply hire others. And the bloodshed will move forward unchallenged.
What if I dose just one of the cups?
That would be tantamount to murder.
Are you sure the tranquilizer is safe to use?
Theoretically, this should be safe.
But don't I only get paid if one of them dies?
Unbelievable. You would prefer to line your pockets instead of halting bloodshed? Never mind that. I will ensure you receive some form of compensation. I will see what I can do.
I know what to do. I've done this before.
This is no time for jokes. Just take it and deal with the drinks. Great Serpent, watch over us.
Okay.
Hi, Dan.
So far, a lot of very good voice acting, some deep storytelling
My
here
friend.
with Amila and his brother, a lot of trauma and
Need help with it?
tragedy.
Is everything ready?
Yeah.
Then it is time to begin the duel.
Yes, finally. I am ready to do what must be done. The time has come. Amila,
Are you sufficiently prepared?
I am ready.
It is time. Nothing we can do now but observe and hope for the best.
Whoops. What do you need?
To your health, brother. And may the Great Serpent have mercy on your soul, Amila.
My head. What did you do? Something was in that drink.
Nonsense. This cowardly trickery is beneath even you.
You hate me so much that you would stoop to cheating?
That is the final insult to my honor you will ever deliver.
Great Serpent wills it.
It is done. May Amila's tormented soul finally find rest in death.
What happens now?
You have fulfilled your duties as second, and will receive your payment in full. As for Danica and I, we must prepare Amila's body for cremation.
It has been done, Borhall. How are you feeling now that that's over?
Good. Finally, I can begin to repair the damage Amila has done to the family name.
It is done, Borhall.
Yes. Amila was out of control. What happened here today was necessary, but I garner no joy from it.
No, this should not have happened. What have you done? You were supposed to tranquilize them both. You were supposed to scuttle the duel.
Tranquilize? Amila was not lying about the drink?
Amila is dead because of you.
Amila was a drain upon the Va'ruun society in its dire need right now. I did what was right and correct for the Va'ruun people. All must serve. Amila was not serving. Okay, let's read these options. Amila was doomed from the start. Whether he won the duel or not, I took mercy on him. What Amila did was unforgivable. Your anger is completely misguided. You should have done more to end this. You pushed the tranquilizer on me. You made things complicated. We're going to go with the first one.
You do not get to make a decision like that. You have no right to play with a life.
Enough! I will not be having an argument over the corpse of my brother. Danica, this is your betrayal. I had trusted you to guide them in how to be a second to Amila, not rope them into a scheme.
This is insane. You can cremate Amila yourself. I am done.
You. Have you anything to say for yourself?
I'm sorry. This duel was one shameful act after another. I regret taking part in this. It was Amila's time. You know that.
I know.
But there is no honor to be gained from dueling a weakened man. I need to be alone with my brother. Your duty as a second has ended. Take your payment and leave me. It is time for me to tend to my brother's body.
This wasn't about honor. This was about doing what was right for the Va'ruun people. And let me see what he has on him. Good. Alrighty.
Hello.
It looks like we are done with that quest. I think we should take a screenshot, if at all possible. So this sky is not... I don't know if this is correct. Hold on. Let me fast travel and reload the skybox, because it's not... Dazra typically does not have any kind of cloud cover or blue skies like that. At least usually they don't.
I'm still here, Dan.
Maybe it does. Huh. I feel like Dazra's bugged out. Usually the skybox does not look like this. I will probably just take a frame from the video we shot. But very good quest line. I never saw that ending. Typically I save them both by poisoning both drinks and tranquilizing both of them. But I do appreciate you guys watching all the way to the end. Just to let you know, the ad strategy I'm going to do on this video series is I'm just going to put in an ad every half hour. I think that's reasonable. For this kind of a series, I don't like the once every 8 minutes. But I think we are going to call it here. Tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but next recording is going to be the scientific method. I will record that when appropriate. Hold on. We picked up conversation.
And what about this talk of missing supplies? I would think the conversation starts there. Hmm?
I apologize, but with the cataclysm, the investigation has been slow going.
How convenient.
You're putting the growth before the horns! The issue is not the supplies, it's the workforce! This may sound radical, but if we could reunite with some of the exiles from House Maleen...
Careful, Envoy. It means nothing if those who lend a hand are holding a knife.
Not to mention, they're completely sloughing mad. What? Too soon? It's only been about 50 years.
For now, let me see what I can find out regarding the missing supplies. It's possible they were lost in the tragedy along with everything else, but I don't know for sure. Once that is sorted, we can revisit this debate.
Of course.
Okay. I will talk to her at a later time.
Yes?
I'm just going to end it there. I just wanted to pick up that event on camera. And we can just return to it. That quest we're going to do a little bit later. There's a lot of side quests we need to do first, and the side quests are rather lengthy side quests. Next episode is going to be purely the scientific method. That's the only quest we're going to do because it's going to take about 2 hours to do. And like always, I do appreciate you guys watching. Please like and subscribe, and enjoy your evening.